First violins, this is the Old Boatman. So there's a few things that I wanted to talk about in this piece to kind of prepare you ahead of time and make sure that you're feeling confident. But the biggest thing about this piece is it's very smooth and lyrical and slow-moving chord changes and slow-moving bows. So the most important thing for us to do, especially in the sections when we have the melody or we have these long held notes, is smooth bow control. In the very first 4 measures, our fingers are moving, in quarter note, eighth note, half note rhythms, but the majority of our bow rhythm, or the rhythm that our bow is moving in, is half notes and whole notes. So our fingers are busy, but our bow is nice and slow and smooth. So as you're getting ready to play this piece or practice this piece, a good warm-up would be just playing a G major scale. We start out in G major on whole notes. Thinking about long, smooth, consistent bows, planning out your bow speed, and then, because this is a slow lyrical piece, warming up some of that vibrato. So as first violins, it would be good for us to start in the upper octave, G major scale, just 1 octave. You can start it this way. So that I can use the whole bow. Okay, so try that out on your own. Play the entire scale. Really feel like you're confident in your bow speed and that you're able to kind of warm up some vibrato to really make these notes shimmer. So let's go right from the beginning. Not only are we contending with long bows, fingers that are moving, but there's also some string crossings going in underneath these slurs. So we really have to anticipate that with our string crossing, preparing our brain and our bow arm ahead of time. From the beginning, like this. 3, 4. I'm thinking ahead. There's 1. It happens again. Keep going. You can also think about bow point of contact to help with your dynamics that are going on. As we move on to 9, our fingers are getting a little busier, but our bow rhythm stays in that smooth whole note. As we go on to measure 17, there's a solo here, but this, one of the lines of the solo actually come back later for everyone in the section to play. So as you look at 17 or as you look at 37, we're thinking about smooth, lyrical. The dynamic at 17 is mezzo forte, and it is a solo, and so you want that to come out. So you're going to change that point of contact, be a little closer to the bridge, lots of fast bow speed as we're playing through this, and with that grace note that's going to come a little bit before the beat. So here's 17. Notice where I'm using open E and where I'm using 4th finger E. I'm going to play that again. I'm using 4th finger E after I play D on the A string, so I don't have to go back for another string crossing. Also, it gives me an opportunity to bring out some 4th finger for vibrato on those longer notes. If you are playing the bottom line, if you're not doing the solo, make sure that you're planning out your bow. You've got 8 beats to hold that out for, unless you guys decide to change your bows in there. But otherwise, you're thinking 8 beats, That's a long time to hold your bow. Plan after 4 beats. Where's the halfway point? Do I have enough speed and control to make it out to the end of my bow? Okay, especially as we get down to measure 21, there's probably going to be some staggered bow changes in there for you to kind of determine within your section. Okay, as we go on, 25 is just like the beginning. 33, we've got some more long held notes with those staggered bow changes. That's the up bow in parentheses. At 37, you've got that kind of solo line that comes back for everyone in the section to play. But let's move on just a little bit to 42 to the end. We get into some divisi here. The notes are a little bit different. The key signature has changed. We now have 3 sharps. So let's try 42, that same slow bow speed in a new key. Here's 42. Ready? Go. Okay, so hopefully that felt familiar and pretty easy to find that consistent bow speed. As we move on, the top line after that, we are retaking for a down bow, and we can be in 3rd position for this and use that high E as a 4th finger kind of extension. So here's 46. Then here's kind of a retake for an up bow. Something to think about as you prepare for this section at the end of 49 into 50. Saving your bow on this whole note to save a little bit of bow at the bottom for this other up bow that happens on the quarter note. Hopefully you saw what my finger did there. I'll do it slowly for you. That last 8th note in 50, I'm going to go back to 1st position for that so I can do this with a 3rd finger. 3rd finger on A, full finger pressure in the string. The next note is a harmonic. So you're going to place that where that little diamond-shaped note is in your music, where a 3rd finger D would normally go, but you're just going to set it gently on top of the string because it's a harmonic, and it will play that ledger line way up there. If you've played harmonics before, remember that you kind of have to keep your bow moving, otherwise the sound will not speak correctly, especially since you've got 4 measures of held whole note while there's other things going on in the orchestra. So make sure that you're really comfortable with that and you're moving your bow quietly but quickly. Okay, so that's the top part at 46. Here is the bottom part at 46. Okay, ready? Go. I recommend a 4th finger. Again, save a little bit of bow so you can have another up bow. Yours is that halfway point harmonic, so during that open A 8th note, come up here and bring that 3rd finger to that halfway. Again, you've got to really save your bow, keep it moving through all of those held whole notes, and that gives you plenty of time to look up at the conductor and watch for the cutoff. So have fun practicing this lovely lyrical piece.